name is Kristen. Welcome to my first live video. I'm very excited. I have something today while I talk to you a little bit about what's going on in my life, specifically my crafty life. I am currently working on the Cumulous Blouse by petiteknit. This is what it is looking like so far. And I'm very excited. It's actually my first lighter garment, and I'm using not the lightest yarn in the world, but it's pretty light. I'm using this silk mohair from Lana Grossa, and it has little sparkles in it. I hope you can see them. There are some right there. There are little sequins, and I have it in two colors. One and this one. This is my last ball of this one though, and I still have these sleeves, 1.5 sleeves to go. So I'll tell you my plan. Right now on my first sleeve, I have this much. I'm hoping to go to about here. And when I started, I weighed on my little food scale how much yarn I had in the darker blue, and then I used half of it so far. So I'm going to switch now to the light and finish the sleeve off in the lighter blue, and then I'll do the other side using the rest of this. My only thought that I have to decide on before I keep going is I haven't done the I-cord edging on the neck yet, and I kind of feel like the darker blue is more flattering around my foot. But I only have this much of the dark blue left, so I might do the I-cord edging with the dark blue first and then just use whatever's left sleeve, knowing that there will be a little bit more dark blue on this sleeve. I also could, I'm not going to rip back. I could rip back, that way it's more thin, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to switch over to the other blue while we chat. I'm really enjoying this knit because for a long time I don't really know much about lighter knits. I only really made like heavier sweaters and then hats and accessories and things. And I've been learning a bit about lighter knits, which has been nice because I live in Florida. It's very hot, and so my chunkier knits don't get much wear. I'm originally from New York though, so when I go back to visit my family, I can wear them then. But yeah, I wish that I could wear things that I make more, and now that I've been learning more about some of the lighter things, I feel excited to explore that. Although I will say everyone recommends cotton, and I haven't worn anything cotton, so maybe I would like wearing it, but I don't really like knitting with cotton. I'll show you. I knit something for my daughter. I have a daughter who she just turned 7 weeks old yesterday. And before she was born, I knit her a few things, and I knit her one thing in cotton. I got cotton from We Are Knitters in Madrid when I was on my honeymoon, and I was really excited because I was hoping it felt nice and light. I'd really like cotton, but I don't. I did not enjoy knitting with it, and it doesn't feel lighter than a lot of my thin wool knits. I think that could be because I'm slip over by petiteknit, and there are a lot of cables and things, and cables just make the fabric thicker because there's a lot of kind of double layer, like things behind, one layer behind another when you're crossing over and doing things. Pretty cabley, complicated knit. I think there are a lot of points in the sweater where it's more than just one layer of knit. I hope that makes sense. Let me show you. I just added on lighter blue, which is a very pretty color. I just don't know if I'll like it next face. This is what I knit out of the cotton. A little end on there. Looks like that. I would love advice on how to sew these. I should use a smaller thread for sure. I didn't think it would be too hard, so I quickly used an embroidery thread to sew this in, and it does not look good. And I would like to add these to all of the hand knits that I've made, but I'm not happy with how this looks, so I have to learn how to do it first. But yes, I made this with cotton, and I was really excited about it, but it's pretty heavy, and I didn't love knitting with it, so I don't know, maybe I'll give it another try, but not anytime too soon. I am, however, using Drops Flora to make myself the ranunculus right now, and I'm really enjoying that yarn. But it's a wool alpaca, so it's not really light. I'm making a t-shirt, so hopefully I'll be able to wear it here, because I'm making the short sleeve version. However, it is definitely not light. But I will say Some of the thin wools that I've used for my daughter, I think she can definitely wear on the hottest of Miami days because we get a lot of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit days. And you probably don't want to wear any wool those days, but something like the teddy pants, so something like these you could definitely wear on a warmer day, even though it's wool. I'm really happy with how these came out. I really like these. This was probably my favorite thing that I knit for my daughter before she was born. I did find it the most complicated. I don't know why, because usually I find petite knit patterns pretty easy to follow, but this one, still my favorite. And then I'll show you one other knit that I made her, which I also liked that yarn. I bought it in Italy from Lanes du Nord is the name of the brand. I bought it when I was in Venice on my honeymoon. I bought a lot of yarn on my honeymoon, mostly for baby knits, because I thought it was an heirloom to have a few knits from yarn from my honeymoon. Again, another wool, but just a really thin wool, and I think that wool is pretty regulating. So if you knit something with a really thin wool, a relatively loose gauge where it's just not too thick and impermeable to some breeze, then I feel like wool is fine for warmer weather. But I don't know, tell me what you think, because I'm sure there are people that would never wool in the warmer weather. This is the Lanes du Nord that I got in Italy. Another petite knit. Most of my baby knits. I'll show you, I have one here. The only one here that's not petite knit, but I've made others. But a lot of my baby knits are. This is an Italian wool, but it's so thin that, especially when we're inside with the AC, it was really perfect to put on. It's way too small on her now because she is a big baby. But I really liked this knit, and I liked this wool. So I don't know if I'll use cotton again. Maybe I'll try, I know a lot of people like linen. Maybe I'll try that. We will see. And then my knit that I made her that is not petite knit is an Angora knit, so definitely not great for Miami. So I intentionally made it so it will fit her best around Christmas in New York for probably like 2 weeks for Christmas, visiting my parents and my husband's parents. And that way she'll get lots of use out of it there. When I was pregnant, the made knitting wise was to make our baby a hat with little bear ears. So that's what it is. It's called the Angora Bear Bonnet by Amanda Morse, I believe. And it looks like this. I shared this on my YouTube a lot, so if you've seen any of my videos, you've probably seen it. Adorable. It does recommend putting little bonnet strings here, but because there's so much fluff and she'll be 6 months, I have a feeling that she will try. I don't want her doing that, so I think it'll fit fine without the strings, but I didn't do it with the strings, so we'll see. A funny story about my daughter and putting things in her mouth. So she's 7 weeks right now, and her first few days after she was born, she tried sucking on her thumb sometimes, and then she stopped, and she never did again. I never really thought about it. And then a few days ago, she discovered her hands, which is funny. It's something, and I didn't know if it would be so obvious, but she kept moving her hands in front of her face and getting kind of hurt. Like she would, and just move her hands, and then she'd be like, "Oh my goodness, what's that?" Which was very cute. And then she started trying to suck on her thumb again, which she hasn't. But she keeps, so she's making 2 mistakes. She is going like this and trying to suck on her thumb, and her thumb is in her hand. So she brings it to her mouth, and then she gets frustrated because she can't find it. Or, so that's the first thing she does. And then she yells. She gets very angry. Or she's to suck her thumb like this, and she does it very aggressively, and she like chokes herself on her own thumb, which also results in her getting quite angry. So she hasn't figured it out yet, but I think she'll probably start sucking her thumb soon, which will be nice, because I wasn't so sure if I wanted to give her a binky, but she really likes, she likes to suck on the boob when she's not hungry. If she just like wants to go to sleep or wants to regulate and needs a little bit of help, which I'm happy to do, except that she ends up drinking milk when she's really not hungry. Spitting up, and I feel like it causes a lot of gas in her stomach because she's trying not to drink because she's not hungry, and so she's ended up just sucking a lot of air in. So I thought that a binky might be a good idea to help with that. However, binky a lot, Every time I tried to put it in her mouth, she spit it right out. So I think once she figures out how to suck her thumb, which she's not there yet, but when she does get there, I think that'll really help her learn to regulate without relying on the boot, without needing the binky because she doesn't like it. And it's really cute. It's really cute when she tries to suck her thumb. It's just not as cute when she gets so angry that she can't figure it out. And that definitely doesn't help her regulate at all. But she's been really cute. She recently started smiling, which has been a lot of fun. My husband's waiting for her to start laughing, and he keeps tickling her, but I think it's going to be a while until she's ticklish. She's definitely not there yet. But it's been a lot of fun. She's learning a lot of things, and in the end of this month, we're going to New York with her for the first time, so we're bringing her on a flight, which I am optimistic about. We'll see how it goes. And I'm really excited for her to see everyone, because she has met my parents and her aunts and uncles, so my siblings. I have 2 sisters and a brother, and then she's met the same on my husband's side, so his parents. And 2 of my aunts, my mom's 2 sisters, came over to visit and meet her. So she's met a good amount of people. She's actually only 7 weeks old. My mom's been to Florida 3 times to see her, so that's been fun. Visitors pretty much every weekend since she's been born, which has been really, really nice. Because I've been missing home since she's been born. I've been very homesick. And it's nice to know that even though right now that she still has that family and that support, and she's meeting everyone and forming relationships with them. It's been really fun to see my parents as grandparents. It's been really cute seeing everyone try to pick out their. My mom did not know what she wanted to go by. She knows someone who goes by Lola, and she really liked that. But then she said she didn't feel like a Lola, so she's Grandma, and then my dad is Pop. And her in-law is Jojo. My father-in-law is Mick. And my siblings are all going by their full name, except that my sister's always been Maddie to me, and she wants to be Aunt Madeline. And my sister-in-law is Aunt Kiki. And I think everyone. I think those are all the names. I've been saying Mama to her a lot, but she's pretty far off. About a while. But it's been a lot of fun. She's really starting to recognize us and like look around and be interested in things. I took her swimming for the first time. So I live in Miami and it's the summer right now, and after you give birth they tell you to wait 6 weeks to go swimming. But we have a really nice pool and I really wanted to go swimming. But I had to wait, and I did. As soon as I had my 6-week appointment, I stopped at Target on the way home and I bought Niamh a bathing suit because she didn't have it. And then we went home and went swimming, and she slept through the whole thing. I thought it would wake her up. She was napping, and so I thought it would be easier to put her in her bathing suit and everything and bring her outside. She's napping. She didn't wake up. She slept the whole time, all cozy in my arms. She is, I keep saying she's 7 weeks, and I stopped at the doctor on the way home to get her a bathing suit. But Target only carries bathing suits for ages 12 months up. But I really wanted to bring her in, so I bought a 12-month bathing suit. She's not even 2 months. And it was big, but it was not big. It actually fit her pretty well, but it wasn't that big. She's a big girl. So that was really funny. 2.5 rows since we started. And one mistake that I'm making that I am choosing to just ignore is that I'm using a very needle. I'm using the same needles that I use on the body part of the sweater. And the sleeve is obviously much smaller in circumference. But my other projects, so I use the Hiya Sharp needles, and I love them. So if you're looking for knitting needles, they're not cheap, but they're not more expensive than any of the other interchangeable needles that you can get. I like that they're so sharp. I find them to be pretty quick. Less so because I have a giant magic loop to work with, but relatively quick. And I'm a slow knitter, so that's saying something. find that they stay pretty well. Because I bought when I was on a trip, I forgot needles, or I didn't have the right size. I don't know, I went to a store and I bought a pair of interchangeable needles. And I feel like every time I use them, they start to unscrew, and then there's a gap between the needle and the cord, and they're there. It's terrible. They're pretty, they're wooden, and they're like a really pretty wood. I forget which ones they are, but they're a real hassle to work with. Another little mistake that I'm making, because I make a lot of little mistakes in it, is I don't remember how many rows I had done when I picked this up today, and I have to decrease every 7 rows. So I just decreased. We'll see how it goes. I actually intended to knit the Cumulus blouse holding these 2 yarns together to get like a bit of marl with the light blue and the dark blue, mostly because I couldn't pick which blue I wanted. But then I felt like that would be a really heavy sweater. So instead, I went down a needle size. I used just one of the yarns, and I went up a sweater size. So I'm making a size large. Smaller needles. So it's taking longer than it would if I did it the right way. But I think it'll be a bit lighter. And also not too sheer, because if I stuck with the same, then I'd have a really wide gauge, and I didn't want to, I'll have to wear something under it, but I didn't want it to be too sheer. So that was the plan. I'm excited that it's almost done. I recently started the Cumulous Blouse because everyone online seemed to be doing it, and I thought it was pretty, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a super fast knit, so I usually use small needles. I often actually go down a needle size. I don't know, I like using smaller needles, and maybe it's just because I've been doing so many baby knits the past 2 years. Maybe that's why I feel like I use a lot of smaller needles. So the Cumulus Blouse uses pretty big, I think maybe 5mm needles I'm using, and it's so much faster. It's so fast. And I started less than a week ago, and I feel like I'm definitely going to finish it in the next few days. I finished the sleeves and the yoke, and I'm working on the length, and I'm probably like here, so I really could just whenever I feel ready. But I don't want it too cropped. I actually think I don't want it cropped at all. I'll probably do a full length. That's the plan. Last night, Knitting Traditions posted a YouTube video for the first time in like a month, and I've been enjoying more now that we both have a little baby girl. So I was saying that I mostly petite knit patterns, and I think that's because she has a lot that are pretty unisex. But now that my daughter is here, because I didn't know if she was when I was pregnant, so I felt like petite knit had a lot of unisex patterns. But now that she's a girl, I've been excited to knit very girly, lacy, pretty, hopefully some color work things. I really like, I think it's called the Niamh. It has flowers on it. It's from Knitting for Olive. And it's a vest, so I feel like she could definitely wear it here. So I think I'll make that soon. I just don't really have the yarn for not to buy new yarn. I don't have it with me, but I recently knit her a little vest. It was a tops pattern. I have a blog. It's babyfeverbabe.com because I work with babies, and I was very excited. We were trying to get pregnant when I started my blog, and I was really excited. I started it obviously over a year ago now. But if you want to see it, I just made a really cute little poncho, a winter poncho. It was a drops pattern, and I used the drop, which I got as a gift for Christmas, so about 8 months ago. And I wasn't sure what to use it for because it's such a warm, fluffy yarn. But I feel like it was easy to throw over things. So I made one, and it came out really cute. I was really happy with it. I shared it on my Ravelry as well. which is also Baby Fever Babe. I've been really, for a while I had an account and I didn't really post on it, but I think because the baby knits are so much faster, it's made Ravelry a lot more fun, because some girls on YouTube finish projects so quickly. That's not me. That's actually why I thought I might enjoy doing a live video where I knit and chat rather than show all my knits, because I like to do the videos where I show all my recent knits, but I just can't do them often because it takes me a while to get a lot done. And I do tend to not work on a lot of projects at once because if I don't always get things done. So it makes it hard. I don't know if it's outside, but we've been having some really crazy weather. It actually felt like we had a tornado the other day. It's crazy. We were out by the pool and I was sitting on the side of the pool holding my daughter because it was kind of windy and I didn't want to bring her in the pool. And it felt like all of a sudden we had this crazy tornado. Like the wind was going and it started pouring and everything was flying around. It was just scary. Oh man, I made a mistake. I accidentally grabbed the wrong yarn. I have, which is silly, I still have the dark blue on there, and I was just knitting with the dark blue, so I'm going to have to go inwards. But I think I'll end this here. I really enjoyed my first live. I felt a little silly, like I'm chatting with myself, but hopefully some of you tune in and enjoy talking with me about little baby Niamh and about my current knit. I would love to hear what you're knitting on, especially if it's something summer knit-y or baby knit-y, because I am always looking for some inspiration. And I post YouTube videos somewhat regularly, but I post more on my blog, it's babyfeverbabe.com, so if you want to check out there, I post a lot of knitting updates and baby updates and just life updates. That's it for bye!